Fennec Shand was released back in ARH 4 Unlikely Heroes. She found a place in a couple of builds. I was running her alongside RDM Kylo to backfill Dengar's rotation, but she never really found a true home at the top tables. But in ARH 6, we got her sniper rifle, custom made for her reroll ability. So today I'm deep diving into Fennec and looking at some potential character pairings. A huge shout out to our channel members for supporting what we do here. If you want to get involved with the channel and the Dice Commando community, please consider joining as a channel member. Remember, these videos are only possible with your support. You can show that support with a like, a subscribe, and by leaving us a comment and sharing your feedback. Community first, and go Commando. Hey there, Star Wars Destiny folks. Welcome back to Dice Commando and the Commando cast. Thanks for checking in for yet another Destiny Friday. Hope your guys' week has been going well. You've been rolling tons of threes and specials, and that everything's going well for you. So yes, today I want to talk Fennec Shand, character I think's really cool. They've really propagated her through not just Book of Boba Fett, but also through the new Bad Batch series. And it's kind of been cool to see her in both forms. Ming-Na, obviously, is a fantastic actor. She's been in a lot of cool stuff. She was in Stargate Universe, which I thought was really good. But anyway, I digress. So yes, talking Fennec Shand today. Now, she's an interesting character. Came out several sets ago. Character Bounty Hunter. After you play a yellow event, you may re-roll one of your dice, and then power action, re-roll a weapon die. Then if that die is showing damage, deal 1 damage to a character. Otherwise, give this character a shield. So do note, because we'll get into this with her sniper rifle, right? She does not, the weapon for her power action, the weapon does not have to be on her. She can get the shield from that, right? But obviously, when we get to the sniper rifle, that doesn't work that way. And then she's 1 gun, 3 gun for 1, 2 melee, 1 focus, which kind of stinks, 1 resource, and a blank, right? It's not a superb die, but she's a very interesting character at 11-14, right? She's obviously a supporting character in that. And, you know, I wouldn't be surprised. There's no reason to do it, obviously, because the sniper rifle just dropped. I wouldn't be surprised if she actually could see a balance of the Force in the future. I don't know that she needs one. She kind of seems like right on that bubble. But I haven't seen a ton of play with her. But then again, like I said, she just got a brand new toy. All right, so let's bring up this. Now, this is her with her sniper rifle. So the MK sniper rifle came out in display of power. So it is a neutral gray. Now, it's a 3-drop, but it's a big 3-drop. So it's a 2-gun, a 3-gun for 1, a +3 gun, that damned 1 focus, which is never good, a resource, and a blank. But while this upgrades on a unique character, it has redeploy. Okay, so we're going to be looking at running, you know, a 2-wide for the most part, right? 2-wide, 2 elite. After this die is re-rolled by a die or card effects, by die or card effects, give attached character 1 shield, right? So in this case, you can re-roll this die and the attached character gets the shield, okay? And this die being the sniper rifle die, right? So to be clear, if the sniper rifle is great, combined with Fennec Shand, what I was referring to, if the sniper rifle is on her partner, she PAs it, they could potentially each get a shield, or the owner of this would get a shield, and then you'd ping 1 damage, right? So I think that's very cool. And with this release, I mean, this is kind of, I mean, it's a 3 cost, so it better be good, but it's a pretty big gun. And there's no limit, right? It's not a once per turn effect, so you can keep doing this. All right, so when we look at that with Fennec, after you play a yellow event, you may re-roll 1 of your dice. Well, that seems pretty good. But in order to take really true advantage of that, I think it tracks that you're really going to want to play her with another yellow character, right? And there are a couple auto pairings that come to mind, but I wanted to walk through 4 today. One of them is a little less intuitive, I think. Right, so the first is obviously kind of I didn't even really realize that these 2 came out in different sets. I mean, you do, but you just assume they're the auto pair. But this is Boba Fett, Daimyo, Boba Fett, and if you play Star Wars Legion, Daimyo. Anyway, they misprinted it on the side of the box, which is kind of funny. They misspelled Daimyo. Anyway, so yeah, Boba Fett. So 1 gun, 2 gun, 2 melee, 2 shield, resource, and a blank. You may include up to 4 yellow villain and up to 4 yellow hero in your deck. After you play a yellow card, place 1 resource on this character, and then remove 2 resource, remove 2 resources from this character, re-roll 1 of its dice into your pool. Now, he is neutral, right? So that leaves you with a neutral deck. You obviously have Boba Fett's thing in this case, where you get 4 of each. So that helps. But he's not a bounty hunter, which is interesting. right? So if you decide that you want to go the bounty hunter route and do some bounties and some tricks there, which there's some very good villain cards for, he doesn't get to take, you can bring them because of him, but he doesn't get to take advantage of them. You have single target. So these two work together, but not really, right? So again, this is the auto pair from a thematic standpoint, but right? Now, the other advantage though here is that Boba Fett does really want to play with another yellow character. You want to try and do the Tusken Camp thing with, I mean, you're going to go Tusken Camp as much as you can anyway, but you're going to run Tusken Camp because we're running yellow. So yeah, that works. And then there's some other tricks you can do, but you're still potentially deck limited. So I don't know, this one, like I said, is obviously an auto pairing. So I want to start with it first, but it's also the one that I think is probably the least desirable. All right, next one, which is pseudo popular, and it makes sense on a couple of aspects, is Fennec and Bossk, right? So both of these in this case are bounty hunters. Bossk is a 13/16. He's a beast of a die with 2 blanks though, but you get rerolls. So 2 gun, 3 melee, 4 indirect for 1 indirect, resource blank, has piloting, and then PA move up to 2 damage from an opponent's character to another character, which might not always seem good, but remember, indirect's a thing, and there are yellow cards that let you do indirect, and you just PA and drop somebody. Makes their indirect math hard. It's pretty cool. This guy being at 12 health is, Bossk is like big and strong. I wonder if he shouldn't have been at 13 health, but again, he's only 16. So it is what it is. But this is very interesting because, again, you've got access to villain side, which is better for the bounty hunter stuff. You have Bossk, which is a big beast, and you can re-roll his dice if you need to. Sure, you want to be, in theory, re-rolling the rifle, but with 3 sides on the rifle, how often do you need to re-roll the rifle, right? But again, it gives you survivability. And remember, every time you play a yellow event, not yellow card, every time you play a yellow event, you can potentially re-roll Bosk's die. And they're big dice. Right? So that's a really neat option there as well. And you can go, again, some bounty hunter tricks, some of the Bossk, doing damage tricks, move it, drop people under shields, right? Because it's a move effect, but it's opponent's character, right? So it has to be their character. You can't do it. Can't do the Yoda thing and move it from yours to theirs. All right, next, and I think this one's really interesting. This is Fennec and Cad Bane. So remember, Cad Bane has been dropped 1 point, and that makes him very attractive, I think, at that 13. So 2 gun, 3 gun, 2 discard, 1 resource, 2 resource for 1 and a blank. Before an opponent's character is defeated, you may move one of their weapon or equipment upgrades to this character. I think that is super good, but it's kind of like with the way that Destiny works today, like I don't know that it kind of just, in many cases, I think that ends up being a win more. I mean, it does let you steal potentially like a really strong like I'm not saying it's a bad ability, but I think a lot of times it doesn't like swing game tempo necessarily. But maybe. And do keep in mind it has to go to Cad Bane, right? So yeah. So what I like about Cad Bane here is his dice are phenomenal. You have, right, if I'll bring up the rifle again here real quick. Rifle and some of the other stuff that yellow guys do have modifiers. And specifically, he has the 2 base sides. So you've got a lot of guns here. You do have the 2 melee on Fennec. I mean, it is what it is. And I think it's the right thing thematically because she kicks butt, right? But yeah, Cad Bane here is very, very interesting. You've got a lot of the interesting, I mean, you still have it on the other guys, right? But you have, like Smash, stuff like that. Very, very cool options here. And that 2 discard, I think, is very interesting. Very, very not interesting. I think the 2 discard's really good on Cad. And sure, his ability might not be the thing, but 13 health, right? You've got your redeploys. Start giving him shields. Very, very cool. Because I think in this case, right, I mean, I think they go for Cad first. I think. But the right play might be able to go to Fennec first because redeploys and gaining shields on it. Now, granted, you have to get the gun out to start getting the shields, right? And that's again, probably going to end up being one of the weaknesses. But there's no lack of, like, really good yellow stuff in terms of weapons. Even if you're only running, like, Patar and stuff like that, which I don't think it's only Patar. Patar's pretty darn good. Don't forget you've got Cad's guns. Cad's guns. All right, now the last one that I kind of want to talk about a little more, this one I think is weird, but I think this one's really cool, right? So this gets Vizago. So we've got another 14-16 with 13 health, right? So let's just remind everybody, I haven't seen a ton of Vizago, so let's just remind everybody what he does, right? So 2 gun, 3 indirect for 1, 2 disrupt, 2 discard for 1 indirect, 1 resource for 1 indirect. That seems bad. Oh, wait. After you activate this character, reroll a die, not showing a cost, right? So it doesn't have to be his, right? Fennec does have that 3 for 1, which probably you want to keep, but hold on. Power action, force an opponent to pay the cost showing on one of this character's character dice. You may resolve that die without paying its cost, right? So it is super gross. The 2 discard is super gross, right? So you make them take an indirect, and you discard 2 cards. Now, we've talked about Vizago when he was spoiled, and I don't see any world in which you don't just roll him out first, right? You roll him out as your first action, and you make your opponent make decisions. And that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So you combine that, like, he's going to have all sorts of tricks. He's pseudo-disruptive. I think they're going to go for him first because he's going to be a pain in the butt. And then you have the opportunity to do what you want with Fennec. And I think it's pretty neat. So I think this is a very interesting pairing worth exploring as well. Vizago is really, really fascinating to me as a character. I think he's really cool design. They did a great job with the flavor fitting him, but I kind of wonder if like the design on this character wasn't conceptualized before, and then they found a good person to fit. Either way, top-notch design. Now, he's not a bounty hunter, right? So that's the counter here. So there's a couple counters here in that, like, he's not a super good offensive character. He's just kind of a disruptive character. So then you're very kind of much counting on Fennec to do the thing until, let's say you're putting all your stuff on Fennec. They do go for her, it redeploys over. Then you're just kind of counting on Vizago to get it done with the weapons and stuff he has, which is or supports, whatever, which is fine. But it's very, very, but yeah, no bounties in this case, right? So you're not necessarily going to be getting anything out of your bounty stuff. I mean, Complicated Profession, right? Complicated Profession is a really good card that you get to run with the previous 2, right? Cad and Bosk, that you wouldn't necessarily get in this case. I mean, you always have Fennec, but I think you want to be running Dual Bounty Hunter. I think. So anyway, that's my thing. I think there's a lot of places to explore right now with Fennec. She hasn't really seen a home, but I think she definitely got a lot better with that sniper rifle. So let me know, have you tried the sniper rifle? Has it worked out for you? Is it too expensive? I mean, it seems like it's the right thing to do for like an overwrite. But yeah, let me know what you're thinking. If you agree, disagree, which of these pairings you like, let me know in the comments below. I really would like to see the Star Wars Destiny comments picking up. So yeah, let me know what you're thinking. If nothing else, folks, keep rolling 3s, keep rolling specials, and go Commando.